I'm your host, Luke Gamble. We have a big show planned tonight, starting with more visits with a few state champions. We start with the Linton-HMB Lions. They won their first volleyball state championship in school history this year. I had a chance to sit down with the champs earlier this week to talk about what the title means to them. I am here in Hazleton with the Class B girls volleyball state champions, the Linton-HMB Lions, here with head coach Jamie Richter and junior JC Richter. First off, congratulations. I mean, obviously an awesome season for you guys. How does it feel? Is it finally kind of set in that you're state champions?
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, it did take about 3 days to actually come down and say, oh my gosh, we did this. But it feels awesome.
It was a season that was perfect. I mean, by all means, you guys only dropped 3 sets throughout the entire year. What was it like for you being a part of this team and, you know, a young team, too, to be able to accomplish something so huge?
It was really fun, especially ever since we've been little, we've been playing together, and we've always dreamed of this, and for it to finally happen, it's amazing. That's
something you guys said, is that you've pretty much played together your whole lives, and, you know, not just from people of the volleyball team, but other people I talked to said everybody knows that if there's a group of girls that could do it, it's this group of girls. At what point did you guys really realize that, you know, this was something you could accomplish?
I mean, well, starting off at the beginning of the season, we were just like, okay, we need to work really hard so we can just make it to state, you know. Then towards the end of the season, we still were like, okay, we still need to get out of the region, make it to state. And then when we finally made it, we were like, okay, here we go. Let's try to win it now.
Yeah. Coach, for you, I know for everybody, this was a season of kind of highs and lows, and you had to figure out different rotations with girls being out here and there. You know, you've been doing this for a long time, but it was a unique season. What was it like just going throughout the season and having to deal with so many things to get to where you got?
Yeah, I know. Every day I'd wake up and say, okay, we got to be one step ahead of the game. Just because of COVID and just with everything, I'm like, are we going to have somebody out today? And I don't know, it was just, we took day by day. And for us, we were pretty lucky. We only lost 3 girls at one time. And I feel like we adjusted, our school adjusted to know how to deal with that. As volleyball goes, we were even talking this morning, JC, I'm like, gosh, like a year ago, did we really think that we'd be winning a state title? It's hard to believe that it came true.
Well, the thing for you guys was you said at the beginning of the season that you didn't have a lot of height, and that was going to be the biggest problem throughout the season. It didn't seem to be too big of a problem, though. You also said that you were focusing on outsmarting opponents. How do you feel like you really achieved that as a team, outsmarting opponents and limiting mistakes throughout the season, but then in that state tournament as well?
I feel like definitely scouting, watching a lot of film. Every single girl on the team would always watch and just try to like perfect their own position and make sure they're doing everything right. Like, what does each girl need to do so they can score or so that we can win and like come out on top?
Yeah, Coach, it made it a little easier on you. You guys had a really deep rotation that you could kind of go to, and all of these girls aren't even seniors. I feel like that's the best part of you. How much easier did it make your job knowing that there were multiple people you could go to down the bench to help get the job done?
Well, it feels great, and my JV is awesome. Every day they come to practice playing hard, and these girls are resilient. I mean, you've seen at the end of the games, when it was like 22 and it was close game, they were like, game face is on. We've got this. And the mental aspect of these girls and their will to win, I think, is what did it. And they just have that I want to win attitude, and you can't stop us. Our teammates are here. We can do this together. And I mean, that's the trust of these girls is amazing.
JC, you said early in the season that trust was a big part of this, and obviously that trust has carried a long way from you guys playing from a young age together all the way through now. What does it mean to you as a player just to be a part of this and something historical, the first state championship to ever come to your school?
It means a lot, especially because every single girl on my team this year was like my best friend, every single one of them. And it just makes it so much more fun and so much more meaningful when you can do it with your best friends.
Well, doing it with your best friends is one thing, but I also have to ask, Coach, for you to get your first state championship with your daughter, what was that like, and what did it mean to you?
Oh, gosh. You have no idea. It's just awesome. JC's such a great kid, and even the other girls. I mean, one of the things I've always done with these kids is I've taken JC and like Tegan and Kim and Callie's been up there too, and my niece Gracie, they've all witnessed the state tournament since they were little. We went every year, and they knew that was their dream. And so for me and her and all the rest of the girls, because they're like my kids too, to make it come true, I just can't imagine anything feeling better. Yeah.
Well, the Linton-HMB Lions getting it done, their first state championship in program history, a team that only graduates 2 seasons, so surely they will be in the mix once again next year. Thank you again, Coach and JC, for joining me. We'll have more